complimentary Wi-Fi throughout your entire flight.
So, why fly on yesterday's plane when you can have the perfect journey on tomorrow's? The Qatar Airways A350. Newer, greener, better.
Support, nakukuha natin kagad yung bola. Careful, be careful. Roommate mo yan. Ay nako. Good. Now you're watching again. Ball watcher again. Good one, Carlo. Good one, Sam. Yan, Alin. That's the way, Alin. Nor, get 12 feet. Press. Now follow. Kulas.
Abu, again.
Good play, good play, good play, good play. Don't be ball watcher. Check man, check ball. Out. Go, tara, press. Allen. Press, Allen. Be careful, Nor. Be careful, ha. Now, find opponent. Time. Water.
for it. Gaya FC with the opener. Kenchiros Daniels burned him for pace. Great hitter. Third goal for UCFC. And the Lizard Fandom of UCFC. Robert Lopez comes down into the scoreboard for that goal. Yenbe hits the crossbar and a lovely weighted pass or a lovely weighted shot into the path of Robert Lopez Mendy. Busy. That one. Have patience, Jing. There's the first goal! Lovely ball from Montenegro! 1-0! Maharlika Manila's first goal in the Philippines football league, tucked away by Jose Montenegro. Great pass. Boyer, wide open. Strike that sun. Goal for Maharlika Manila! His first chance, and they've taken the lead. Wow. Substitute Jeremy Doyer has put Maharlika Manila in front.
The league title may be settled, but pride is on the line. The standings, the positioning, better positioning in the final day is still on the line. Welcome to the Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. Today we have two clubs who have no chance for a title, no chance to reach a spot in the AFC, but still they are fighting for a better position and something to build on for the next season. This is Maharlika Manila FC up against Mendiola FC 1991. My name is Paulo Del Rosario alongside Natasha Alquiros calling this one for you. And Tash, two teams here who probably feel that they could have done better this season, but still a chance for them to end the season with a flourish.
Definitely, you hit the nail on that whatever the results will be in this last game for Maharlika, it would be something to build on moving forward to the next season. But at the same time, they are still battling for something. As we talked about, it's that mid-table standing. As we see it, Maharlika are so far in fourth with 3 points. Mendiola and Stallion Laguna right after them with 1 point each. If Maharlika can get that win for today, they will remain fourth with no chance for either Mendiola or Stallion Laguna. With Mendiola winning on the other hand, then it can be a completely turnaround story, and it will all tune up on that last matchup day between Stallion and Mendiola to figure out who will be that fourth spot in this year's league.
We talked about the Maharlika Manila FC team. A lot of questions were made of them simply because they were formed so late and came in almost as a surprise in this season. But still, take a look at their results. A 1-0 loss against Kaya, a 2-1 victory against Stallions, and a 10-0 demolition actually against United City. And if you're Anton Del Rosario, also don't forget the 5-0 loss to ADT. If you're Anton Del Rosario, you're looking at the results and thinking it's a bit of a mixed bag, but still something to build upon for the upcoming seasons and the future.
Definitely. When the first opening match fixture, when they lost 1-0 to Kaya, that was actually a great stepping stone to get that underdog victory against Stallion Laguna. So important for the pride and confidence of these players. They hit a downward slope when they lost 10-0 to UCFC, and that match against ADT, that 5-0 loss, really that just broke down in the last 20 minutes of the match. And of course, our player to watch will be Jerry Barbasa, who has been crucial throughout all the matches, and from him playing center back was now moved up to that center mid position, as he is the captain and, of course, one of the experienced players for the club.
You know, he's quite a character, Jerry Barbasa. I also heard he's a great dancer. But then let's talk about what he can do on the field. Now, Jerry Barbasa will be able to slow down the build-up and the attack of Mendiola today, especially when you consider he's going to be up against almost head-on with Hamed Hajimedi, who is the man to watch for the other team. But when you have Jerry there, he allows this Maharlika team a bit of stability at the back and allows them to possibly hold on to the ball as they build up.
Definitely, he's one of those players that really has that experience. He has the quality, he has the speed. Whether he slots in at that center back position or that right back or that center mid, he has been crucial for the campaign of Maharlika Manila, most especially because he's had experience, of course, playing for Global FC for the longest time and always shining and being part of that first 11.
Let's take a look now at the Mendiola FC 1991 team, what they've done here this season in particular. So Mendiola, they came into this one still as underdogs, even given their Copa performance last season. They were known as a counter-attacking team, a team that can come up with a few surprises. And boy, did they here. They basically were the team that helped settle the title by holding Kaya FC into a draw in their last matchup. And when you have a Mendiola team riding high on that type of success, you never know what they can come up with against Maharlika Manila.
Definitely, Mendiola did not start out this season as they would have hoped. Loss after loss, but then their momentum slowly picked up as they got that draw against Kaya FC. So now it's really a tale of two different sides. Mendiola slowly figuring out, working together, getting that cohesiveness. Can they ride on the momentum of getting a draw against Kaya? And on the other hand, Mendiola, for Maharlika, it's how quick can they bounce back from two big deficits? And of course, a player to watch for Mendiola FC 1991 is none other than Hamed Hajimedi.
Well, Hamed Haji Mehdi is the creative force in the middle for this Mendiola team. For those who have been following Philippine football locally, including in the Sevens Football League of one Anton del Rosario, you know that Hamed Haji Mehdi is quick on his feet, he's great with the ball on the floor, and is able to pick out the pass. Definitely one of the guys who will be marked closely by Maharlika Manila if they want to get the victory today.
Of course, Hamed is one of those players, as we talked about, he is very creative. He's a quality player. Again, when we talk about experience, he's that well-experienced player who's comfortable on the ball. You know, he's not quick to give the ball away. He wins the fouls in dangerous areas for them. And at the same time, he is that creative outlet. He creates the chances. He picks the runs, picks the passes. You could expect that Hamed will really come into this game with that confidence, of course, knowing that Mendiola squad really want to get a win at least in this season.
Well, Maharlika Manila looking a bit different today in terms of their starting 11. And no Anton del Rosario, he's sitting out today. So with that, actually, you already know that you're going to have a different look here. Montelibano, who's listed as a defender, listed as a striker for today, which I feel may be a theme in this particular season, with Montelibano now going to be the man up front, probably the guy who will threaten the most, at least the way they're lined up for this Maharlika team.
Definitely, there's a lot of changes, and when you take a closer look at that defensive lineup, you have Christopher Lawless, who's usually a player up on top, is slotting in as that center back position alongside Carl Amisola. It's going to be the first matchup that Anton del Rosario is not there, who leads the back, who is very vocal on the pitch. So we're now going to try to figure out who will step up for this Maharlika squad. The interesting concept here as well is having Barbaso, Libre, and Fornea in that midfield position, because it's something that they've really been lacking, is who can hold the midfield. And now they're trying to really just go around their squad, and they're finding solutions, having the three players that have been performing this season for Maharlika take in that midfield position and really try to hold this game.
Well, look at the substitutes here. You already have 3 goal threats in terms of Epeso, Tuazon, and Thuyer available for Maharlika off the bench. So interesting to see how Coach Roxy Dorlas will utilize those substitutions later on. Now moving on to the other team, talking about Mendiola FC 9091. A bit of an attacking look here for them this time, lining up in a 4-3-3. So you know they're out to get this game, out to get goals, and hopefully they want to make the difference today. Altiche, Nabreja, and Flores up top. And then you have Haji Mehdi, as we mentioned a while ago, the creative force of this team, deployed on the left, and Briseño on the right. He played center mid before and was actually one of the better defensive mids that employed against Kaya. Interesting to see him deployed on the right side this time around.
Definitely, when you take a look at this formation, a couple of changes from their last matchup. Malaya, who was playing at center back, is now being replaced by Fadregalan. And of course, up on top, Deloso, who was playing there, is now replaced as well. And you take a look at where their foreigners are all lined up, and it's somewhat towards the spine, in a sense that you have Otara and Depe, Apia, who has been crucial for them. For Green Archers United, you know, he's still trying to find his way. Can he be able to perform and be the difference for this matchup of Mendiola and Maharlika? And of course, Hamed is someone that you cannot mention the Mendiola squad without mentioning Hamed and how much he has contributed holistically to the identity of the squad.
I know you're a bit disappointed that it is not Kenny Balobo who is starting here after what he did last time around against Kaya, but still, Dino Watara, a solid choice as a goalkeeper. Still very short-handed in terms of substitutions, talking about Mendiola. Interesting to see how they will manage in this particular matchup. Again, so many games in such a short amount of time. They know that Mendiola don't have the personnel in terms of substitutions, so how they manage the game will be crucial. Maharlika Manila FC and Mendiola FC 9091. That is up next.
How would you describe your perfect journey? Does it begin with the Airbus A350, with its distinctive cockpit windows and sleek wingtips? Is it in the comfort and privacy of your own personal Q suite?
Is your perfect journey one where you saw the blue skies in a greener way? The A350 uses less fuel than the A380, reducing CO2 emissions, making it a more environmentally friendly option.
Is your perfect journey a breath of fresh air? One where the air is filtered and replaced every 2 minutes, ensuring you can breathe easy? Does it have perfectly curated lighting, helping to reduce jet lag from a long flight?
Is your perfect journey a connected one? Experience complimentary Wi-Fi throughout your entire flight.
So, why fly on yesterday's plane when you can have the perfect journey on tomorrow's? The Qatar Airways A350. Newer, greener, better.
Punished for it, Kaya FC with the opener. Kenshiro Daniels burned him for pace.
Great hitter. Third goal for UCFC. And the lethal tandem of UCFC. Bienvenido Manila as well as Robert Lopez down into the scoreboard for that goal. Bienve. Hits the crossbar and a lovely weighted pass or a lovely weighted shot into the path of Robert Lopez Mendy. Busy. I like his faces so lifting that one. When you have patience, Jing, there's the first goal! Maharlika Manila's first goal in the Philippines Football League, tucked away by Jose Montelibano.
Great pass.
Doyer wide open.
Touch and strike that son.
Goal for Maharlika Manila. His first chance, and they've taken the lead. Wow. Substitute Jeremy Doyer has put Maharlika Manila in front.
Welcome to the PFF National Training Center in the heart of Carmona, Cavite. Two teams here right now battling for pride, battling to climb up the table, being known as a mid-table team at the end of the 2020 Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. Pablo De Rosario alongside Natasha Alquiros on the call for you, and you have a team in Maharlika who want to bounce back and really banish away some heavy losses this particular season, hopefully with another victory here. And on the other side, the Mendiola team riding high on a surprise draw against Kaya. Take a look at the referees. Ricardo De La Cruz will be our lead referee for today. So two teams here. Again, in terms of form, a bit up and down, but still a lot to play for here. Maharlika having their last game, Mendiola have another game in hand. So if you're Maharlika, you're probably going all out to finish the season on a high note. And Mendiola still building up to hopefully what is a great finale for them.
Definitely everything to fight for. The number 4 spot, the number 4 standing in the table is still on the line. Can Maharlika bounce back quickly, or can Mendiola build on the performance they had from their last game?
It will be Mendiola who will get us going here. They are wearing their red and black kits. On the other side, Maharlika in their all white. Mendiola will be playing from the left to right of your screens for the first half. Maharlika from right to left. Hello to everyone watching all over the Philippines. Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. And for those watching around the world, for those who are not familiar with Philippine football, welcome to the Philippines. I hope you're enjoying or will enjoy what we have in offer for you.
It's going to be interesting to see, of course, how Maharlika have made their adjustments, testing this midfield connection between Barbaso, Fornea, and Libre. Three of the players that have been mentioned heavily all throughout for Maharlika.
Early attack here from Mendiola on the left flank. It's very attacking look here and unable to really get that through. Now moving things around, talking about Maharlika, trying to get a hold of the ball here. Now, ask any of these players, they feel that this game is very winnable for either side. So really the team that has more discipline, the team that is able to execute here will probably be the one that comes up on top.
Definitely a lot of adjustments as well for both sides. As we talk about this Maharlika side, again, a different backline formation. Anton Del Rosario, someone who has been their leader off the pitch, most especially on the pitch. His vocal commands will be missed out for today, and we'll see how this backline will respond and how they can adjust to not having such an impactful person on their squad.
Good control there by Montelibano, setting up Yohiko. Yohiko goes straight for it. Tough angle there.
And we talk about Yohiko, he's a player that has done well for himself playing as a left back for Maharlika, but this time around, it's refreshing to see him in an attacking position. We know he has the speed. You know, he tried his best to hold the wingers of the different squads, whether it's Callantes, Porteria. You know, he was challenged a lot of times, but it's now we're going to see more of how he can give impact, how he can create up on the attack.
Chance here for Maharlika after almost gaining possession. Ndepe with fancy feet there. Very assured defending, but almost gave it away immediately. Ndepe, time on the ball. Eventually makes the pass to Hajimedi. Playing it back here. High pressure here from Maharlika. Now operating on that left flank once more. Talking about Mendiola. Apia. Swings that around, looking for Flores. Flores with Pitogo on him. Flores cutting in the middle. Ebreja could not control it.
The great movements from Flores. This time we see him playing on that far side, on the right. But how quickly he's able to cushion the ball, cut in, and try to create chances through the middle.
Basa. Long ball forward again. We've seen that a couple of times right now. Basa trying to look for Montelibano. Definitely Route 1 football there. You may notice that you will probably hear some comments on the side. That is because Anton Del Rosario, again, not on the bench. He's near our commentary position. And it'll be very interesting to hear what he has to say.
Definitely. And of course, he's with Serge Caule, who, you know, unfortunately got injured early in that first game.
Pressure there, very high pressure. And Watara did well to get rid of it, but Maharlika still pushing way up there. It's like sitting beside a center back right now, talking about Anton Del Rosario right beside us.
So technically, they won't be missing his commands.
Oh,
because
no, definitely not.
He will still be giving encouragement from the sidelines for his Maharlika squad.
I feel like I have to pressure Mendiola right now, actually, with him right beside us. Ndepe, now long ball forward. Mendiola have been favoring that left side so far. Of course, on the left side, Altiche has been a common target.
But so far, Amisola and Beaton on that far and have been doing well to really bury the attacks coming in from Mendiola.
Yuhiko trying to get past Indepe. No foul there, says the referee. Yuhiko basically wrapped his leg around Indepe, who looked like he didn't feel it. That's how strong he looks.
And you have the likes of Apia and Briseño holding the ball for the Mendiola squad, trying to really be more creative up on top.
Well, even Polina who's listed as a left back, really pushing forward for Mendiola. Chance here again. Oh, who has the pace? Ouattara getting to it first.
And a great run from Indepe, of course, to just really usher out Beaton's run. Or Libre's run, for that matter.
Apia asking for a bit of movement up top. A bit static there between the front three of Mendiola. And there he is, just screaming for them to move. I think the plus side of being in a bubble is the fact that we can hear everything on the field. So their commands, their frustrations, we'll try and relay that to you as much as possible, as long as they don't include any expletives. Oh, and here's a chance now for Montelibano, almost breaking through. Ouattara quick to his feet.
Quick come out from Dini Ouattara. And that's going to be something that will really be something for this Mendiola squad to adjust on. You have Montelibano really just lurking by the last man.
Back to Basa. Basa's been playing long balls throughout. Libre now, being hounded by Hajimedi. Boy, just couldn't get Libre off the ball. Eventually does.
Just released it a little bit too late.
And Libre has been one of the surprise packages here in the PFL. Very nice to see someone who's homegrown really making a name for himself here this season.
Definitely, and as we talk about as well, for Nea, Libre, their connection in the middle, it's going to be something to build on for this Maharlika squad.
Mendiola on the attack again. Strong tackle, and that'll be a free kick. Lawless there.
That was a strong tackle coming in from Chris Lawless, who, as we talked about, is registered as an attacker but is slotting in as that center back position.
Take a look at this there. Just a tad bit late on the tackle. Possibly got more man than ball. Flores standing over this one.
Now they allow Mendiola to try to capitalize from a set piece situation.
Well, correction, it's not just Flores. It's four people standing over this one. Polinag, Hajimedi, Flores, and it looks like Apia is there. So eventually it'll be Briseño and Flores as one of the choices, as well as Apia. Deflected out for a corner. Good action here so far. Around 8.5 minutes played, with both teams feeling like they can get it on the break, with clear intentions of how they want to attack. So the question now is, which team will get it first? Let's take a look at the free kick again.
Definitely, both squads, you can see, as compared to all their matches actually, is that they've had more chance to hold the ball in the middle. Both teams still trying to feel it out, but you could see the intention really to attack and get the points is there from both squads.
Apia. Sandoval offered a short option. Ends it up with him anyway, but then so many white shirts converged on him as soon as he took a touch. Apia just heaving that forward, and that'll go away harmlessly for a goal kick.
Mendiola just couldn't work on that touch. They tried to play it short, but quick movements from Melvin Petogo. He went straight to the man carrying the ball and just stopped that cross from even happening.
Looking for the run of Montelibano again, and you have to feel that Maharlika eventually get that ball through, they'll be able to have a clear shot on goal. Operating again on that left flank. Finding the run. Lawless defending. Good pass forward, but that is eventually ushered out.
And that was a good run by Jerry Barbaso. Really, that whole defensive mentality as well. You know, he's quick to help on the attack, but he came for that run, and crucial to have a man on Nebreja on that occasion.
Second corner here for Mendiola. Just over there from Indepe. That was a great opportunity. Would be disappointed with that for sure.
Definitely, that was a great ball given straight to that far post. He had no man on him, and the nearest man would have been a mismatch anyways by height, and he just couldn't keep it on target. And so far, that actually has been the question for this Mendiola squad, because they have not scored a goal in this season.
Yohiko. He has one man in the box. Flores taking his time now, trying to build slowly from the back for Mendiola. Now Apia. Almost loses it out. Barbaso coming up way high.
Good pressure coming in from Jerry Barbaso, really forcing that error on Apia.
Free kick here for Mendiola.
Definitely this game will really be something to work on for this Mendiola squad. You know, so far, as we said, they can build up from that momentum they had against Kaya. Getting that draw that, you know, really made headlines for everyone.
Well, that draw was basically what was the difference between the title, or a chance at the title, and settling for a disappointing finish for Kaya. And Mendiola, as much as we talk about the deficiencies of Kaya that time, we have to talk about just how great they were, how solid they were in terms of their defense. And let's see if that can hold up here with a more attacking formation. Pitogo operating on the right side, lost it to Flores, and Flores with the foul. Flores adamant that he got the ball first, but Pitogo feels otherwise.
Pitogo, of course, slow to get back up after the challenges of Flores. You could say that he got the man first before really getting the ball. But definitely, as we were talking about this Mendiola side working on their defense, it's going to be interesting to see how they can be clinical on the attack.
Well, their defense is about to be tested again. MJ Libre trying to stay on the ball.
Great movements from Libre. Again, just really a player that has been impressing. Again, swinging it out wide.
Chance here, and almost the opener. Boy, Montelibano. What a golden opportunity here.
And it all started from Libre. That pass to Beaton on the right flank. Good quality cross coming in from Beaton. And Montelibano really just couldn't get a touch to that. Just a few inches off. Could have been the best chance that we've seen. Could have been the opening goal.
Well, he is listed as a defender, and we all know, though, he can get the goals. In fact, was the first goal scorer for this Maharlika team.
So far, we've seen one great chance each for each squad. Apia, of course, just again, as we talked about, clinical with the headers, and the same time now with Maharlika, Montelibano just couldn't find the frame. But something to build up from for both squads.
MJ Libre getting into it there with Hamed Hajimedi.
And the two impact players, I'd say, for both squads, Libre and Hamed. It's going to be a battle throughout the whole day.
Well, it was nice that they weren't really screaming at each other there. It seemed like a polite conversation at the very least. Back to Watara, taking his time, very calm, very composed. Indepe now to Apia. We talked about that strong spine that Mendiola have come up with. Now going on the left flank. Altiche on the ball again. Trying to cut that to Hamed. Still Altiche. Giving it to Briseño. Flores offering an option on the right. Puts that in and a chance and almost. Nebreja just missing there. Unable to get any real good contact or have it on target as well.
Great to see end-to-end action here today. And that build-up actually came all the way from the back. But let's take first a look at the replay. Briseño making the run around, passing it to Flores. Flores giving a quality ball right behind the back line. And Nebreja just couldn't find that perfect touch to really test Bendequen. But if you saw how that play started, that all came from the goalkeeper. Calm and composed. He didn't give it out long, even with the pressure on him. Passed it to the center back. They created all the way from the back to have that chance. So it was a beautiful teamwork for Mendiola.
Libre trying to look for that incisive pass once more. Now on the right side. Montelibano again, the lone man in there, but Indepe first to the ball.
And the distribution again of Dinio Otara when it comes from the back. Able to keep it down despite the pressure. Able to translate his passes into short ball passes and connect.
Barbaso won the ball and now on the attack. Barbaso taking a look at what he's done. Such a veteran in the game, such a veteran in the Philippine football scene. He's had a couple of stints with the national team and really has been one of the servants of Philippine football throughout the years.
And even from this angle, you could see that Coach Dan Padernal, all the way on the other side, seemed to be frustrated. But you don't know if it's whether the call or with the squad so far.
Oh, and that was almost a fortuitous ball there for Maharlika.
That was a miscommunication, most especially between the center backs. The delivery from Lawless inside the box, allowing the ball to bounce. It went out eventually.
Boy, but that could have resulted in a messy situation there for Mendiola. It's an offside there for Nebreja.
That's like the number one no-no as well, allowing number one the delivery to enter the box and letting it bounce inside.
Well, you talk to any youth coaches, they're telling their kids right now, don't let the ball bounce. That's why. Yohiko trying to get it done on the left flank. Briseño wins it. Now to Flores. Flores on the attack. Basa in front of him. Oh, and Basa, you can't do that to him simply because he just knows what to do, but he loses the ball there. Yohiko trying to track back here.
Good win back by Petogo.
Petogo looking for Yohiko, and the pass was just behind him.
But you saw that quick build-up from Briseño, quickly winning back possession, saw the run of Flores. Flores with a bit of too much confidence there, thinking that he could nutmeg David Basa. They won back the ball.
But had he pulled that off, we're talking about it in a completely different light. Sandoval asking for the ball. He
Definitely
eventually gets it. Flores. Briseño. Back to Flores. Flores asked for it from Sandoval, eventually got it. Yohiko back defending, now attacking Basa again.
Great works from David Basa at the back. And you see him, he just knows right away, quick on his instinct.
Libre trying to go on a little run of his own and could not beat the last man.
Beat one, beat two, but the third was just too much for him.
Trying to find that channel on the right side again, but the pass will fall harmlessly outside.
You could also see this better connection for this Maharlika side. So Carl Amisola making that overlapping run on that right flank.
Take
a look
at
at MJ Libre, man. This kid from Tondo really just been making headlines for this PFL League 2020.
Well, we saw a couple of mazy runs today in particular. So this morning, if you missed it here, Gallantes went on a nice little run of his own, but unfortunately wasn't able to cap that off with a goal or an assist. And this time around, MJ Libre beat two, couldn't beat the third. Chance now for Mendiola. Altiche couldn't save it. Decanfong. Now to Basa. Now down the middle to Yohiko. Yohiko loses out to Sandoval. Pia looking for the run of Flores. Pitogo was a bit too high there. Flores eventually gets it. Flores, patient. Going to Hajamadi. Briseño. Back to Hajamadi. Apia. Good defense there from Barbaso. Just imposing his body. Chance here for Maharlika to go on the break again.
Great
Shifting that to the
movements
right.
from Libre to hold the ball, send it out wide, makes the run again.
Boy, it's hard to get MJ Libre off the ball. Barbaso playing that forward but unable to find any run.
But they already, this time around, this is something to build on for Maharlika Manila. Having MJ Libre there at that center midfield position, he's able to connect the runs, keep the ball. He's a player who is capable of keeping that ball close to him and delivering that passes for the wingers.
Miscontrol there. Coming from Amisola, so chance here. Altiche on the left flank. Looking for the run of Nebreja. Gives it back to Hajamadi. Hajamadi. Not sure who that was for, but either way, Maharlika get it.
Hajamadi trying to anticipate the run of Flores, but Flores held back.
Playing that to the middle. Montelibano. Now Pitogo. Pasa. Barbaso. Maharlika content to build from the back again, very patient. Very confident, but so far no real forward movement coming from Maharlika. Barbaso trying to find Beaton. Barbaso again. Beaton able to control that. And Pitogo gets it. Flores unable to really anticipate that one.
This time around, Maharlika really enjoying much more of the possession as Fornea is leading the attack.
Fornea shifts it to the side. Yohiko, can he find Montelibano? Wadara there to collect.
You could see different imposing sides from Mendiola and this Maharlika side so far. Mendiola trying to play it quickly, and Maharlika so far trying to play it much more slowly, enjoying possession.
Fornea wins that back, anticipated. Loles. Now Barbaso. Beaton plays it all the way back. Again, this is the most confident spell possession for Maharlika, but then the question is, can they threaten? Just as they play it forward, he loses out. Sandoval wins it back. Flores trying to find the run of Altiche. Altiche has a bit of space, Pulls up for the shot, and oh, that's fantastic! Will they count it? Eventually, Nebreja bundles it in!
And what a goal! Quality team effort from Mendiola. That pass from Flores, finding the wing, finding Altiche, taking that shot. If we had goal line technology, we never would have known that first bounce just really right down the middle.
Let's take a look at that one more time.
Great pass from Flores, finding the run off Altiche right outside the box, takes a chance, hits the post, but the second ball falls perfectly for Nebreja, and that header right inside an empty net.
Well, let's see here if it actually crossed the line the first time, and boy, that actually did. So that should be counted. But let's see what the match officials say.
Let's take a closer look in this angle.
Oh, clearly inside.
Ooh.
So that was a fantastic goal from Altiche. But whether or not the officials actually caught that one is really in question. But either way, it is 1-0 for Mendiola.
And whether they got that or not, you knew that they had insurance.
Oh.
Nebreja was there, he got the second ball, and he made sure.
Wait, well, what a strike from outside. Easily, well, depending if they credit that to Altiche, that would be a candidate for one of the goals of the season for sure. Or at least well up there.
And this is how Mendiola were talking about, that their style is that quick counterattack. And so far, they're able to translate, getting their first goal so far in this season. That was quick movements, as we said, from Flores, one back possession, saw the run right away of Altiche. So great eye from Flores, finding the run across and that space.
Well, Mendiola, bit in the ascendancy here. Now finding Flores. Ooh, that's a lovely flick here, trying to get it past Pitogo. Eventually does. Now Flores took it himself, and that is far wide. Not to trouble Bendecan Foam.
But you could see now that sense of confidence coming in from these Mendiola players. They went over that first hurdle, of being able to score in the league. And they did it in very fashionable and impressive style.
Well, Maharlika will be disappointed conceding, especially when they felt that they were having a more controlled spell of possession.
You could say that they actually had more of the possession so far. The problem there was that they sent, as we talked about the shots though, Mendiola with 5 and only 1 so far for Maharlika.
Well, let's see if they can change that here. Now attacking from the right flank. Just one option really left for the white shirts. And you have to feel that maybe the movement in the attacking third is a problem for Maharlika on the attack at least. MJ Libre trying to find Pitogo. Pitogo's first touch lets him down. Couldn't take it on stride. Hajimadi or Hajimedi. He says that you can call him either way, which really makes it hard for us commentators.
Great movements from Hamed to be able to swing that and keep it.
Lawless there to clean that up.
Just couldn't time that give and go.
Playing it forward now, and Beaton unable to reach that.
And we talk about as well that goal that happened. They are playing, Maharlika's playing 4 in the back, but they're sending their wing backs, which is Pitogo and Omesola, way up high.
Well, the goal that we saw a while ago was the first goal of Mendiola this season, and you know what? It was fantastic.
Worth the wait.
Definitely worth the wait here, and you never know. There could be more in the cards here, either today or against Stallions for what is effectively the final game of the season.
Of course, if Mendiola get that win in this matchup, they'll have 3 points alongside with Maharlika with 3 points. Stallion will have 2 points only so far, and that last matchup between Mendiola and Stallion will determine who will have that number 4 spot in the standing.
Oh, MJ Libre loses it. Now Hamed Hajimedi trying to find a run of Flores. Flores now on the right side. Pushed a bit too far. Sandoval had to play it first time. Barbazo loses the header. Now beaten. He has a man on him. Trying to turn and find the run of Pitogo. Eventually, Sandoval wins it back. Flores says no, take it slowly. As Briseño takes it, now back to Sandoval.
It was good timing from Sandoval to win the ball back before the counter-attack could even start for Maharlika.
All of a sudden, it is Mendiola with all of the ball here. Looking at the much more dangerous side. Apia. Has been the pivot here at the back for Mendiola. Not as much urgency here for Mendiola as they're probing the entire formation, really, of Maharlika.
Well-timed run.
Altice. Back to Flores, and he tried to cut inside quickly, unable to get that through. Beaten. Can Maharlika hold on to the ball a bit more here? Libre has it, and just bundled over by Apia.
Just the physicality of Apia really overpowering Libre at that moment.
Well, MJ Libre, he has been the target of a lot of punishment in the sense that they know that they probably can't take it off his feet, so using their bodies to really make them feel pressure. Beaten with the run on the right side. Can he latch onto this one? Yes, he can. Ball in, and that's to the side netting.
Couldn't keep that ball in play. But you also have to really give it to this Mendiola side. Take a closer look as Beaton makes that run on the right flank. Tries to really whip that inside the box. But not much of space or angle left.
Of course, Montalibano had no chance to get to it as well. Well, so far, at least when you look at the attacking movements of Maharlika, still, Montalibano, a lonely man in the box, really. Not a lot of white shirts for the wingers to target.
But it's going to be a long day for this Maharlika backline. As you could see, the number of players that they have up on top lining up against that backline of Maharlika.
Sandoval whips that in low, but Neconfon collects. Playing that quickly forward to Montalibano, but that's too far away. There's a breeze here that would affect a bit of the long balls.
And so far, the quality of passes, most especially the long balls of Maharlika, really just haven't making the connections with the players up on top.
So Mendiola, since their goal, have looked good value for their lead.
You could say this is actually the best game of Mendiola so far. Just even that confidence to hold the ball, to keep possession. If you saw in a lot of their other matches, they were just, once they got possession, they just quickly threw it up on top. But this is the first time that we're seeing Mendiola really keep possession, finding the gaps. Just like that one, the whole midfield line was already beat by that one pass.
Opportunity here again for Mendiola, cutting it back. Flores has it. Barbaso offers pressure. They play quickly inside. Briseño's run is cut out. Chance again for Mendiola, and the pressure is on the Maharlika back line.
The best that we've seen Mendiola so far. Great run of pass. The number of men that Mendiola have up on top, really testing this defensive line of Maharlika. And it all started with that pass. The defensive line of the midfield of Maharlika were literally just one whole line, and that pass to Flores beat them all.
Ahmed, who finds Indepe. Indepe cuts that back. Barbaso with the clearance. Indepe had that opportunity a while ago that could have opened up the game early on.
So far, we're seeing Mendiola on the driving seat, really taking control of the tempo of this matchup.
Sandoval. Apia with a lot of time here. Not a lot of pressure from Maharlika. Indepe gets it. Indepe with a defender's finish.
second time that we've seen Endepe on that attacking end. That ball just fell perfectly. It was a great ball. Mistimed header from Carla Misola, falling perfectly for Endepe.
Apologies to all of the defenders who I may have offended with that last comment, but still, Endepe skied that badly.
It's good to see the number of people that this Mendiola squad are sending up on top, sending in for the attack. It's not anymore just one or two players. They're attacking as a team.
Shifting that now to the left. Apia now deployed a bit as a left back here as Mendiola trying to attack for pace. Lawless with a crucial touch, and the ball is played all the way back to Bandekenfong.
But you can see the movements as well for Mendiola. When you take a look at Apia and Hamed Hajimedi, these two players are actually playing a more free-flowing role, not really just playing center midfield or on the wing. They're going down deep for the passes, going up on top.
Mendiola holding on to the ball well here. Apia now moving a bit more central again. Briseño finds Altiche, playing all the way back to Apia. Do you feel that this Maharlika team is lacking in terms of pressuring the ball, especially in the midfield?
I think a lot of it is mentally as well. When you take a look at that last game against ADT, they held ADT really well, but once the penalty was given, they just reacted to the penalty rather than reacting to the game and trying to hold back that good run that they had. And after so far that Mendiola has scored, it's still Mendiola now on the attacking role. It was fairly 50-50 right before it.
Fornea trying to find a run of Beaton. Watara quick to it, and offside anyway. The flag is up. So really, what you're saying is that the question is on how will Maharlika react to this, and the question, at least early on, is that it's pretty poorly.
Definitely, because when you take a look at how they played, they were able to match up. They have been matching up. But once the opponent scores, it's the reaction really that sets it up for the other squad. In that game against Stallion, they were able to come up answers in the second half.
Oh, a chance here for Briseño. Flag is down. Makes the pass and might be too much. And the flag is up, and the decision making there suspect at the last moment for Briseño.
Definitely. That is very disappointing from this Mendiola side. They could have made it 2-0. Briseño was 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. He could have taken a shot. He passes it not backwards but forward, but of course his teammate was already in that offside position. He could have taken that chance. It was also part of it is that confidence to be able to take shots on goal.
A bit of selfishness was required there as well.
Exactly. That was too unselfish from him.
You know, it's good to be a nice guy, and I know Briseño personally. I know he's a nice guy, but maybe on that occasion, probably should have been a bit more selfish. Well, take a look at that. So Mendiola definitely is winning the possession battle here, 53-47, compared to Maharlika.
But when you take a look at that possession stats like that, that's technically 50-50.
But really, it's 53-47. But I understand your point. Playing the ball forward now, and it is still too long. So far, the Maharlika attacks have been limited to either long balls to Montelibano or trying to get the wingers through and crossing it for Montelibano. But even when they do get the crosses in, not enough bodies to target in the middle for Maharlika.
Definitely. It's just been scrappy so far for this Maharlika side when it comes to finding their attacks. And also defensively, it's been posing questions for them as well.
Costly turnover here for Mendiola. Fornea I don't know if you could hear it, but then our Anton Del Rosario.
He said, "Give it to Charlie." So it's more of just.
Oh, that is great! That is great production there, coming from a direct. Oh no, wait, that was you. Pitogo playing it inside.
But you could see that frustration coming in from this Maharlika side. Charlie Beaton is free all the way on that right flank. And the midfield just not being able anymore to find the passes out wide or find the free men.
Well, a chance here for Maharlika to threaten from the corner. But physically speaking, in terms of height, they are at a disadvantage here. So interesting to see how they can come up with a goal here, or at least threaten the goal. Corner whipped in. Couldn't beat the first defender. Now Mendiola have the chance to go on the attack. Flores has a bit of room. Nebrea. Almost losing it. Talking about Mendiola.
And you can see Maharlika now opting for the high press up down the line, forcing the defense of Mendiola to make those mistakes.
Chance again for Maharlika. Extended spell of possession here on the Mendiola half. Deep in their territory. Libre could not find the run there of Beaton. Beaton unable to make a run actually. Hajimedi now on the break. Nebreja on the left. Altiche on the right. Good stop. Chris Lawless there with a crucial tackle, but gives it away directly to Indepe.
Just a late challenge there on the left flank
Amisola
by
feeling it,
Polinag.
yeah.
Amisola was quick to win back possession, but the run of Polinag really just throwing Amisola down.
Maharlika attacking through the middle this time. And Depe, boy, what a strong body again. Just really shrugged off the attacker to get to the ball. Flores trying to latch onto that lofted pass by Hajimedi. And Pitogo using his body well, shielding that.
Great movements from Pitogo to really close down.
Pass
But
too long there.
This has been so far one of the things that Maharlika need to work on, really. It's just the quality of their passes. Whether it was Jerry Barbaso up on top or passes down the middle, it's really the quality of their passes, completed passes, really.
But you also have to feel that this is still a team that's still getting to know each other. Again, fairly new. And some of them have played against each other, but really it's the playing with each other that is still a question mark for this Maharlika team. Pia playing it forward to Briseño. Briseño, his space was immediately taken away. Fornea. Try and look for an open man, eventually finding Libre. Libre now operating on the left side. Shifting it to the right, and that is well too wide.
And this time around, Fornea and Libre connecting, causing a bit of trouble up on top. The final product wasn't there, but the confidence of Libre on the ball, his eye for taking chances, the confidence as well to take chances. The chance went begging, but the fact that his eye for the game, really his football IQ on this 11-a-side matchup, as we talked about where he came from and where he started playing football, whether it was futsal or the Sevens League, it's his first test at 11-a-side, and there's a lot to build up on for this young man.
Offside, says the referee. Just a minute left before injury time, added time here in the first half, and Mendiola with a 1-0 lead off a goal from Nebreja, heading in a fantastic effort from Altiche, which replay showed actually should have been counted anyway. Shifting it to the right side now, more white shirts in the box. Ooh, and Watara getting to that. Atara
coming out strong to collect the cross. But it was better movements coming as well for this Maharlika side. The run of Pitogo, connecting up on top, swinging, using Charlie Beaton finally on that right flank.
Tough tackle there coming from Polinag. Referee asking them to wait for the whistle.
Definitely a tough tackle by Polinag on Charlie Beaton.
1 minute of added time here. Basa launching it forward. Montelibono just over his head.
And the thing is that it was a great ball from Basa. This was the first cross coming in from Beaton earlier, and Otara really just coming out big to collect it. But that second one from Basa as well, he gave it in the right direction. Montelibono was there. She's gonna get a touch on the ball. There was already, that could have been 2 chances for Maharlika.
Well, Mendiola, a poor passer, let them down, and the referee had his whistle to his mouth, but we'll let this play out first. Yohiko Abarbaso, and the back pass and the whistle will signal the end of the first half. Mendiola, a 1-0 advantage off a goal from Nebreja after a fantastic effort from Altiche. 1-0, Maharlika Manila have it all to do here in the second half.
How would you describe your perfect journey? Does it begin with the Airbus A350, with its distinctive cockpit windows and sleek wingtips? Is it in the comfort and privacy of your own personal Q suite?
Is your perfect journey one where you saw the blue skies in a greener way? The A350 uses less fuel than the A380, reducing CO2 emissions, making it a more environmentally friendly option.
Is your perfect journey a breath of fresh air, one where the air is filtered and replaced every 2 minutes, ensuring you can breathe easy? Does it have perfectly curated lighting, helping to reduce jet lag from a long flight?
Is your perfect journey a connected one? Experience complimentary Wi-Fi throughout your entire flight.
So, why fly on yesterday's plane when you can have the perfect journey on tomorrow's? The Qatar Airways A350. Newer, greener, better.
Support, nakukuha natin kagad yung bola. Careful, be careful. Roommate mo yan. Ay nako. Good. Now you're watching again. Ball watcher again. Good one, Carlo. Good one, Sam. Yan, Allen. That's the way, Allen. Nor, get fit. Press. Now follow. Kulas.
Abu, again. Good play.
Don't be ball watcher. Check man, check ball. Out. Go. Tara. Press. Allen. Press, Allen. Be careful, Nor. Be careful, ha. Now, find opponent. Time. Water.
Welcome back to the 2020 Philippines Football League, brought to you by Qatar Airways. This game is under the supervision and regulations of the Games and Amusements Board. 1-0 so far for Mendiola FC 9091. More shots, the only shot on target, and a couple of corners ahead of Maharlika Manila. 52% to 48% in terms of possession. That's practically 50-50 according to my partner here, Natasha Alquiroso. What do you think of the first half for both these teams?
Well, so far, of course, Mendiola have had the best of the two sides. They had great chances up on top. They were building up, and they got that opening goal, their first goal so far for the entire season. It was a quality team effort from Flores finding the run of Altice. He takes it first time, and that actually was a goal. When you take a closer look at that replay from behind, it could have been credited to Altice, but unfortunately, of course, there's no goal line technology right here. Look at that bounce. It bounced inside. You saw the turf granules go up. And of course, the insurance from Nebreja to make sure that it will be credited as a goal.
English football fans are shaking looking at a scenario like this in terms of hitting the bar, crossing the line, but really not counted there. But Nebreja there to make it count, 1-0. Impressive performance for Mendiola FC 1991 to end that first half. They are now kicking from the right to left of your screens, and Maharlika Manila on the other side. They are all in white tonight, rather this afternoon. And again, both these teams really fighting for pride and placement. And if you're Maharlika, you want to end your very first season in existence as high as possible. And if you're Mendiola, after holding Kaya to 0-0, an opportunity here to climb even higher. Nebreja could not get to that. Bendekan Fong gets to it.
Those were quick 1-2 connections between Nebreja and Flores, but the final touch was just a tad too strong there.
Tash, you were looking for a bit more of a response for Maharlika, especially after they conceded that first goal. What do you expect from them here now that Coach Roxy had the time to dig into them during the halftime break?
Well, you can see so far they've actually made a couple of adjustments. Jerry Barbaso is already playing back at the center back position. In the middle, you have Libre, Fornea, and Yuhiko. So you'd have, I guess, much more stability on the back, having Barbaso back in his more natural position. But of course, moving forward, it's really a lot about the quality of their touches, the quality of their passes that they're sending up on top.
Lawless conceded that foul. Haji Mehdi now a chance to whip it in with the in-swing. The obvious target would be Ndepe, the big center back, moving forward for Mendiola. Waiting at the back post.
He has been at the receiving end of 2 set pieces in that first half.
One of the tallest players on the pitch, made even taller by his hair. Haji Mehdi whipping that in. Aim second post, and a close chance there. Flores couldn't get any contact to it. Almost a chance to double up there for Mendiola.
The delivery of Haji Mehdi was just spot on, finding the far post. The run of Flores was greatly well timed, but the header again, heading has seemed to be the problem for both sides in this matchup.
But yet the opener came from a header. Well, at least listed as the opener. Again, Altice deserves to be credited with that goal, but the limitations of goal line technology here means that it will go to Nebreja instead. Ndepe, back to Watara. Maharlika pushing very high now.
Definitely, they're getting the instructions now to pressure up on top.
Fornea.
Force the error.
Fornea puts it to the side. Not even on target here, but that was the best chance of Maharlika this half.
And a great response from Maharlika to start the second half strong, winning the ball from Fadregalan. Fornea tried to just dink it over the goalkeeper, but it ended up hitting the side netting. Best chance that we've seen so far for this Maharlika side.
Actually, I said the second half, rather the best chance the whole game, really. Ndepe now try and play it long. Charlie beaten. Ndepe pushes it forward. Lawless trying to keep it, eventually does. Barbaso taking control here. Okay, finding beaten. Polinag wins it. Trying to play it over beaten, but loses it in the process. Now Barbaso, who was pushed forward here. Again, he played at the heart of defense to start out the opening minutes of the second half. Basa. Now Barbaso. Well, expect Barbaso to dictate the tempo from the middle for this Maharlika team. On the ball again.
See the number of players that they're sending up on top for Maharlika.
Again, they have different players for Maharlika that can make a difference here in their substitutes bench. So let's see where they go. Montalibano trying to play a little 1-2 with Fornea, but that was a poor pass. Play on, says the referee. Apia trying to find the run of Altiche. Loses it though.
Have a lot of players down.
There's a man down here and Maharlika had to play it out.
And it's not good signs for Mendiola.
Ahmed Hajimedi holding on to the back of his head. Well, if you can hear the comments on the side there, that is Anton Del Rosario, who is not seeing action for Maharlika today. So if there are any expletives during the broadcast, we apologize, because we cannot control Anton.
But of course, very encouraging for now commands from Anton. You know, commending his Maharlika side for the high pressure that they're putting. And again, that has been the difference in the start of the second half. They were pressing much higher. They were pressing more compact up on top. The defense, there was no gaps. The defense was higher. The midfield line was higher. That the strikers were higher as well. They forced the errors in the back line for this Mendiola side. And that's how they were able to win that chance. They haven't been clinical when it comes to their finishing, but they are now asking the questions and they have the support up on top. They have the numbers up on top to go on the attack.
Change here for Maharlika. So that will be Mateo Hico checking out for Yannick Tuazon.
And of course, Yannick Tuazon, a player who has played for Stallion Laguna and the likes of Kaya FC, one of the more experienced players for this Maharlika squad. Let's see what impact he can bring to that side coming off the bench.
Well, Tuazon is a known goal scorer, able to cut in and really be a danger. Let's see whether or not Coach Roxy Dorlas has that magic touch from the bench again. In their first victory, it was his two changes that got the 2 goals that gave them their first victory. Jeremy Toyer and Montelibano were the goal scorers.
Definitely, if we talk about coming from behind, and they did that in that matchup against Stallion Laguna. It's really the second half where they were able to find answers. They've been having a run of bad luck. 10-0 defeat, 5-0 defeat. But the question for today was to be, how quick can they bounce back?
Everyone's wondering about that mentality. And right now, foul there for against Mendiola rather. So Maharlika a chance to whip it in. Again, it'll be very tough for them to get anything off the air from set pieces, considering that there is a distinct height advantage, size advantage, especially with Indepe. And of course, the other voice you hear right now is Serge Kaole, who was injured in 6 minutes in for Maharlika. And unfortunately is relegated to cheering on for his teammates here. Ball in for Maharlika. Yannick Tuazon couldn't get any real contact.
Another great delivery from Basa. And worrisome a bit of defending for this Mendiola side. They had the numbers of defenders, but in the sea of red, Tuazon was able to connect.
All the way back to Lawless now. Lawless being pressured by Hajimedi. Basa pushing that forward now for Nea. Quick feet there. Libre. Forward now to Tuazon. Tuazon has space on his left. Beaten. Back to Tuazon. Unable to get the shot off. And a physical battle there between Beaton and Flores. You know, just a couple of dirty looks exchanged to each other, but apart from that, nothing much.
It was definitely also a result of a bit of frustration. They had the flow and the attack, the connections between Yannick Tuazon and Beaton, but they had Petogo running right behind him, and they lost the ball in a chance to attack. Libre with the touch.
It's great close control, talking about Libre. But now the question is whether or not he can find those decisive passes from as soon as he holds on to the ball. Fornea. Trying to find Tuazon. Tuazon gets it. Libre. Back to Fornea. Fornea playing that forward but couldn't find the run of Beat It.
It was great intention there. They had players running right behind that left back. Just couldn't get there before Dini Otara.
More attacking play now coming from Maharlika. But question is, can they make it pay off? Basa. Back to Bendek and Fong. Lawless.
But Maharlika so far looking formidable in this second half. Starting out the first 15 minutes, first 10 minutes. Really on a good note.
Losing it in the middle of the park here, Flores. Pushing it forward. Flores now. Trying to find Hajimedi. He has a chance. Well, Hajimedi knows that he should have done better on that occasion. But that was incisive movement there from Mendiola. Almost caught Maharlika off guard. Coach Dan Padernal, you'll be happy with that sort of break, but would like to relieve some pressure that the Maharlika team has started to impose here. Tuazon looking lively off the bench. Unable to control it that time. Kicking that forward now, Hajimedi. Anton Del Rosario there, again very vocal in his support for his team and barking out instructions here. And typically, when you have someone in the crowd criticizing you, you won't listen. But then if he's doing it, you're probably listening if you're Maharlika. Foul there from Montelibano. Pulled back there, so Mendiola will play it forward.
Of course, Anton Del Rosario really has been the heart and soul of this Maharlika side. Really what he's done for the growth of Philippine football, whether it's that Sevens Football League for the youth, Men's Open, Women's Open, and now, of course, creating this club. And, you know, just having Philippine football something to cheer for, something to add on, a little spark for 2020.
Well, there is momentum now in Philippine football. Hopefully more clubs start to form, and not just any clubs, but quality clubs that can really challenge and increase the quality and competitiveness of this Philippines Football League. Again, very exciting times for Philippine football, and hopefully even through this pandemic, we can see exponential growth. Pull back for a foul here, and this could be a card. Oh no, rather not. This looked like he was reaching to his pocket. Yuhiko now in the middle. Out to Beaton. Beaton has a couple of options. He looked for Yuhiko. Yuhiko gets it. Back to Beaton. Otara there to collect. Oh. Rather, that was Tuazon. Altiche offside. Easy call for the referee.
Much more compact work from this Maharlika squad.
Beaten. Final run of Tuazon. Tuazon beat the keeper, but can he get it in off the tight angle? No, he cannot. Ball still in though. Montelibano gets it. Amisola. Lawless gets it. Maharlika trying to build up again. Long ball forward, finds no one. Yuhiko, or rather, Tuazon in an offside position.
Pasa tried to connect with him, but Tuazon already knew he was in an offside position and didn't continue the run, just to let the play continue.
Libre with the foul. So attack on another foul to the foul count actually. So that should be 9 and 7. Well matched these two clubs are, as Maharlika and Mendiola have clearly had their opportunities.
Definitely, and this match so far has been good for the confidence of both squads and really just for helping them build out of something. And we've seen what both clubs can do when they are on the attack, when they send the numbers forward. But of course, still 1-0 in favor for Mendiola, but the fight is far from over. Maharlika sending in those chances up on top.
Montelibano battling with Apia. He loses out. Mendiola had the numbers, but Basa with the header. Briseño trying to push it forward. No fouls as the referee. Hajamedi holding off Barbaso. Kicks that to the left to Polina. Altiche right now on the left flank. On the attack here. Gives it back to Hajamedi. Now Altiche. Could not find Hajamedi. And a chance here for Maharlika. Tuason unable to keep it. Throw in deep within white territory.
And there's been a lot of high-tempo football, especially in the last couple of minutes up on top.
Jimedi sends that in, but that's straight to Bendekan Fong. Tuazon attacking through the middle, shifting it wide left.
And a crucial interception by Sandoval to stop that counter-attack.
Beaten. Cornea. Couldn't find the run of Beaten there. Instead just found a defender. Apia now back on the ball. Briseño. Now Apia. What a run here. Can he go at it by himself? Almost does.
And what work from Apia, literally after winning back possession that came almost from the half line, just continued his run all the way right outside the box, takes a shot a bit far on wide left, but it's just the quality and the vision that he has.
Substitution coming here soon for Mendiola. Gasian will check in just a moment. Coming in for John Nebreja, the goal scorer.
And as we talked about that chance earlier from Apia, he was a good add-on to this Mendiola squad, who lost a lot of their, you can't help it that they had a strong team. They were forming really well, but they lost a lot of their players to other clubs and ADT as well. They used to have Diano and Marzan, who ended up with ADT. Also the likes of Ricky Sendra, Alan Angeles, who ended up with Stallion Laguna. And the pickup of Apia as that from Green Archers United has been crucial, and it's showing in this matchup. He's very composed on the ball. He's a speedy player and is connecting really well in that center mid role alongside with Briseño and Hamed Hajamedi.
Well, Nebreja is being walked off the field, but anyway, that was the intended substitution of Coach Dan Padernal. Fourth official and referee just conversing a bit here, making sure everything's in order. If you're Mendiola, despite all the key losses that you mentioned, Tash, should be happy with how they're performing here in particular against a team with some experienced players.
Took them a while to build on, most especially in their first two outings, but that matchup against Kaya, really just being the underdogs in that match and stunning everyone with a draw, really helped something for them to build on coming into this match and clinching on that first goal and taking the lead so far in this matchup.
Pasa. Barbaso now to MJ Libre. Finding the run of Barbasa, but that is well off. Apologizes for the pass. And as much as we praise MJ Libre for the way he has burst into the scene here in the Philippines Football League, still obviously a lot of room to grow.
Definitely a lot to grow from, but as we talk about Libre and the likes of Pitogo. It's nice to see. They're really like beams of light and hope for local football, for players who are coming from Tondo, local players, to know that to keep dreaming. You know, they're making a difference here. He has been talk of the town for this Maharlika squad.
Foul there on Amisola, so another chance here for Mendiola to whip it in. And if you're Maharlika, you hope that you don't run out of gas here, because they started out the second half trying to be more active. But the question is, can they keep those energy levels up? Polinag almost loses out there. Trying to battle with Libre.
And you can see things have been heating up between Libre and Polinag.
Well, you know, Libre may be young, but he definitely doesn't want to back down.
And that's one of the things that you like to see. Is that these young players coming out guns blazing, not afraid to stand their ground.
Good header away. Unfortunately, just finds another red shirt. Playing that forward now to Flores. Flores on the attack, taking on Basa. No one there to receive it though. Chance here for Mendiola. Altiche. Not that time. Back to Flores. Flores trying to play a little 1-2. Gets it back.
So
Chance
far,
again.
Mendiola doing well on those one-on-one battles with the players in the back.
Well, that's skied high and wide. And Pangasinan coming in as a sub, trying to get into action early.
But another worrisome sign when it comes to those individual brilliance so far for this Mendiola squad. Imagine how long they were able to keep possession in the attacking third, right outside the box.
Long ball again, unable to find Montelibano. That has been one of the themes of this Maharlika thrust going forward, and unable to really make it count so far.
Definitely Montelibano playing that number 9 role, but so far really just hasn't found his footing in this matchup. Couldn't connect to the chances thrown to him up on top. And we'll see what substitution coach Roxy Darlas has. Again, he has the likes of Epeso, a tall player that could come in. I guess it's just a matter of when.
Well, with Epeso, who's a completely different player from Montelibano, it'll be interesting to see if they employ him. Will they change the way that they play? Especially when if their forward man is a bit stronger compared to Pacey.
Padregalan doing well to cut out the pass of Beaton.
Now operating on the right flank again, Pangasinan. Playing it forward to Flores. Oh, and that was just behind there for Briseño. MJ Libre, one man on him. Montelibano. Playing that inside. Cornea. He's been very active for Maharlika in the middle.
Definitely quality work from Fornea, really picking and cutting out those passes.
Pitogo couldn't get to it, trying to play a little 1-2.
And smooth work from Sandoval, really just passing it on back to Padregalan.
Pangasinan. Moving forward there, Tuazon gets it. Marbaso asking for it, trying to look for any movement really. That entire right flank is empty for Maharlika. Playing it all the way back now. Basa.
So far it's good to see
Lawless.
Maharlika side trying to keep possession.
Amisola kicks that to Lawless. Lawless out muscled by Indepe. Still trying to battle there, and no fouls as the referee. Boy, that was a hand up. Apia finding Altiche, taking on Barbaso. Altiche gives that back to Apia. Apia. Could he find Hamed Al-Jamedi? Not that occasion. That'll be a handball.
Just a quick sequence of events. The transition from defense onto attack. Lawless is down all the way on that opposite end of the pitch.
Well, Lawless battled hard to retain possession, lost out, and obviously feeling the after effects of that. Well, Maharlika have been pressing more. They have been trying to be the more attacking team here, but Mendiola doing just enough to really avoid any crucial threats to their own back line.
Which also gives credit to the defensive line of this Mendiola side, where you have the likes of Polinag, Endepe, Fadrigalan, and Sandoval.
Tuazon has been very active as a substitute for Maharlika, but really yet to threaten. Barbaso. Amisola's making a run. Barbosa trying to chase it. Amisola rather trying to chase it. Libre has it, trying to take on Endepe. Eventually does. And referee eventually pulled it back for a foul.
And that was a work from Libre. Really challenging on two players. They tried to play out the advantage, and as soon as it was seen that he could not get the advantage, the referee then blew his whistle.
Substitution coming up soon, so it will be Epeso coming in for Montelibano. And Amisola will be checking out as well.
And as we talked about, really just the impact that Epeso could have in this matchup. And the other substitution as well is the late goal scorer in that match against Stallion Laguna, Jeremy Thoyer, coming in again as a sub.
So very attacking substitutes here. Epeso and Thoyer coming in, as well as Tuazon a while ago. So the intent is there, but can they deliver the product? Charlie Beaton standing over this one with his electric pink shoes. Hard to miss. Good ball in. Watara there to punch that away.
That was quality delivery from Beaton. But Dini Otara was just quick to react and punch the ball out of danger.
Peso, Barbaso, Charlie Beaton again. Unable to really control that one, and handballs as the referee just bounced off it. 72 minutes played here as Mendiola still up 1-0. Take a look at this one more time. MJ Libre beat one and received contact, but credit to him for trying to play on. Endepe leaves that forward. Thoyer with the ball.
Of course, Endepe just clearing the ball out of danger. Restart again at the back for Maharlika.
There's a bit of a gap here between the midfield and defense of the Maharlika team. Thoyer. MJ Libre now.
You see how quick the give and go opening up in the center. Libre and Fornea have been.
Trying to find a run of Beaton, almost did so. Chance there for Beaton, and it was really a 50-50. Watara getting on the receiving end of that one.
It was definitely just a hard tackle on Dini. And that was also from the quality of the pass back from Fadrigalan, heading it back to Dini Otara.
Well, let's take a look at that. So a poor header there, and both of them were really out for the ball. It's just that the studs of Beaton going up there may have been a bit dangerous had it made contact to Watara.
You can see his vision was also just, he was trying to go straight for the ball, but as you said, having your studs out and just really the tackle hitting on to Dini Otara, who has been crucial, has been crucial really for this matchup. Came out strong. He's a big keeper. The well-timed punches to keep this Mendiola side with that 1-0 advantage.
Fadrigalan will be checking out soon in favor of Dave Deloso. At least that was what the board showed a while ago.
But it's good to see Dini Otara back on his feet after that strong challenge.
You know, Otara went up for that ball. He basically chest first, face first. And take a look at it again. They always say that if you're a keeper, you're going to have to be a little bit crazy. And that's a key example why.
But in terms of that challenge, actually Beaton was lucky not to get a yellow card on that. And just shows to show as well the guts of what goalkeepers bring on this stage.
You like a certain goalkeeper, right, Tash?
You may say that.
Yeah. Shout out there to who I'm sure is watching and reviewing her performance. Very own Philippine Askel, Thai League superstar, and Patrick Data. Hello, my friend. As Tasha is now blushing under her face mask. Ball moving forward now. Mendiola there to clear it up, though. Could not really find Epeso so far in the game. Talking about Maharlika, I know he just came in, but he's such a big target and unable to really get him any touches. Talking about Maharlika.
But when you think of the works of Fornea up on top, and as I said that he lost the ball, I'll save the compliment for later.
Well, there's a bit of a gap there between the back line and the midfield of Maharlika yet again. I'm sure Coach Roxy Dorlas would love to double check the footage again to try and figure out ways that they can improve. Good defensive touch there. Barbaso now to Thoyer. Could not find Libre though, as Tuazon wins out. Apia won the ball there. Flores, nifty move. Can he finish though? Beat another defender, but could not beat the keeper. That is offside though, so that will be pulled back.
Just the work of Flores, if you can see it. Lawless and Basa slow to get up after Flores gets the best of them. Takes a shot, forces the save. As you take a look at that quick cut on that right, takes a shot right before the sliding tackle of Lawless. Does enough to test Bandeken.
Libre unable to control that. Apia pushing that forward. Alticia trying to get to the end of it. He eventually does. Tuazon, who's an attacking player, all the way back now to attack, to defend rather. Tuazon, great delivery, trying to find Beaton. He's onside. Can Beaton control it? Trying to go inside, but great defending once more. Epeso finally gets a touch on the ball. The big man trying to drive towards the center. Poor ball inside. Beaton was waiting for it.
You could see that pace he had on that left flank, able to beat his man. It was just the quality of that cut back pass, easily read by Endepe.
Long ball inside again, and Endepe, well, almost obviously beats out Libre.
Literally felt like David and Goliath at that moment.
Well, in the story, David beats Goliath, so let's see if that happens in the game. Moving now on the left flank. Poor ball inside. But Mendiola will still be pressured here.
This time you could see that the relentless pressure being put on by Maharlika have been proving too much for Fadrigalan on the back.
Well, the substitution that we announced earlier is now going to be coming in. Deloso will come in for Fadrigalan, who is now being stretched for a little bit of cramps. Again, these players are not in peak physical condition, given the circumstances that we are in, especially due to the pandemic. And on the other side as well, Lawless is also on the ground, getting stretched there by Bandeken Fong.
Let's see, of course, what changes will be made for this Mendiola side. Take a closer look first at Hamed Hajimedi and Apia. Really just two players that have been controlling the tempo for this Mendiola squad.
Peter John Padrigal, replaced by player number 15.
But also, of course, a UAP player played for NU. Now slotting in the back. He played wing in that last matchup against Kaya.
Offside there for Epeso. Flag is up. Well, the Maharlika bench was screaming for a foul a while ago unbeaten, but then played on because the ball did end up in the feet of Tuazon.
You know, there's still 10 minutes to play. Though it is 1-0 in favor of Mendiola, literally the second half tells a story of how Maharlika really just have been pounding on the attack.
Flores could not get the better of the defender. Jerry Barbasa now kicking forward to Tuazon, finding Toyer. Espeso asking for it. Unique Tuazon again. Fornea asking for it as well. Trying to find the run of Toyer, but really no one bent their runs.
There's a good intention up on the attack, but the connection just wasn't there. Toyer's run was on the wing, not really cutting inside.
Watara, long ball forward. Trying to find a Pia. Could he beat Barbaso? Not that time, but Decan Fong will collect here. Back to Barbaso. Apia still applying pressure. Good turn from Barbaso, but just finding Flores now. Flores been so dangerous this half. Already got the better of Lawless once, got the better of him there again, and Lawless!
What a
Flores.
work from Flores. Ashley Flores has been key to the attack of Mendiola in this second half. Look at that quick turn to put himself in the position to try to score. Again, just a few touches to the right and finds himself free space to take a shot, testing out Bandeken and winning a corner.
Got jumbled up there in terms of saying Lawless and Flores quickly after each other. Here's a chance now for Mendiola. Ball whipped in. Bendecan Fong gets it. But Bendecan Fong has had to make a few crucial saves here in the second half. Playing it quickly to Epeso. Good clearance there coming from Mendiola. Sandoval, he's been doing well on that flank.
But for Maharlika, they really have to use Epeso much more in terms of his physicality, really, to be able to win the ball, most especially those long balls, and just lay off to the midfields.
Great ball to Barbaso. Barbaso has options here. Libre inside. Loses out. Poor touch failed him. Fornea trying to mark Apia. They keep on playing on. Altiche. Now Hajimedi. Hajimedi driving forward. Flores in front of him. What can they do here? They shift it to the right. Pangasinan. Back to Hajimedi. Hajimedi takes a touch. Now to Flores. Flores whips it in.
You could feel the confidence coming from their players up on top. And on the opposite end, just by the center of the pitch, Apia is still down from that altercations with Fornea. Seems that just a hand-arm caught up with Apia.
Take a look at the chance again. So Jamedi freed up Flores with the dummy and unable to get that on target.
And this is what you want to see from Ashley Flores. And he's really been standing out up on top for this Mendiola side. We know the capability and the quality that he has. He's played for the likes of Loyola, of Stallion. But really, for this side of Mendiola, he has been playing big up on top. And you could see it in his confidence with holding the ball.
Sawyer with the foul. Deloso, the substitute.
And as the time trickles down, you could expect really just a frustration from the side of Maharlika.
Well, Mendiola, if they could nick a goal here, that would put the game to bed. And if you're Maharlika, if you secure a goal, that's game on. Jimedi. Oh, trying to find Apia again. Basa there to control.
Good movements from David Basa.
Jerry Barbaso. Who does he go to here? They go to Fornea. It's been the beating heart of this Maharlika team in the middle. Shifting it to the wing again. Back to Fornea. Fornea needs options here, not getting any. And Deloso forced a foul.
Deloso has been a firecracker coming into this match, and Apia confronting Fornea with things that happened earlier. Really everything heating up in the final few minutes of this game.
Well, for everyone who thought that this wouldn't be a competitive matchup because of the fact that neither of these teams could win a title, well, you're dead wrong. Take a look at that again. So Apia, well, they're also there with the foul, but Apia came there and I believe gave him a piece of his mind.
And Fornea, known to already have been in the heat of things. It happened in that last game against ADT. And now again being a menace for this Mendiola squad.
Card there for Apia. Confirmation of the yellow card. So many white shirts pressed forward, and now you have Epeso and Indepe who are matching up against each other. Finally, the size advantage for Maharlika. Pia trying to find the run of Hajimedi. Libre pushing forward, playing it, trying to find Tuason. Jeremy Thoyer couldn't do much.
And Depe doing enough to have to restart this game as the ball goes directly at the commentary booth.
Can I just say, that was very impressive that you didn't even flinch. Also, a shout out to our floor director, Dana, who basically headed the ball after it bounced off the ground, albeit by accident, but it did look impressive. Christopher Lawless will check out, and Cosco Luela will check in.
Maharlika Manila FC. Player number 17.
Fresh legs at the dying minutes of this match. Will it be enough? Can Maharlika still grab a goal and share the points?
Deloso and Yannick Tuazon getting into it. So Deloso coming in as a sub and making himself felt for sure.
And you could hear the instructions coming in from Anton Del Rosario is that, you know, not to get into altercations. They don't have time for that.
That is a corner there after Watara was unable to keep that in. 2 minutes left. Do we have a late twist in the plot?
No, this will definitely be the best clutch move if Maharlika can come out with a goal from this set piece.
Beaten over this. The obvious target is Epeso. Chance here for Tuazon. Unfortunately for him, that was off the mark. Still time here for Maharlika though.
That's the delivery from Beaton inside the box. They get the first touch. Thoyer just couldn't. But Yannick Tuason with the bicycle couldn't keep it on frame, on target. But lively outings from this Maharlika side. The second half really has been Maharlika pushing attempt after attempt on this Mendiola squad. Mendiola, of course, have had those few shares of chances up on top. Ashley Flores and Hamed Hajimedi have been connecting up on top.
Well, I meant Jemedi almost reached for the ball with his hand.
For a moment, forgot what sport he was playing.
I'm not even aware that he plays basketball. Basa, the center back, now moving forward, but his touch failed him. Just one defender here, but Baso tried to take a step up. Is this the winner? Yes, it is. Flores finishes it. Finishes Maharlika and secures 3 precious points for Mendiola. Picture perfect. And what a celebration.
And you could feel the joy literally of this Mendiola squad. They were quick on the counter-attack, catching the players of Maharlika really just off guard. It was 4v1 in the end, 4 players up on top, and Flores getting that goal that he deserves from the countless efforts that he had on top.
Take a look at this. So off the mistake there from Basa, they find Apia on the left, and the beautiful ball just found Flores, and he made no mistake this time, taking out Bindeken Fong.
That was a great team effort as we talk about the run of Apia on that left flank. The quality of the ball, he used the outside of his right foot. He gave it right behind the defensive line, enough for Flores to just continue his run and slot it in the back of the net.
Fornea trying to find Tuaso, now trying to find the run of Toyer. He gets it. Toyer trying to find a Peso, unable to do so, but Fornea gets it. Trying to pull one back here, talking about Maharlika. Trying to look for any movement here, talking about Fornea. Eventually plays it back. And a bit disappointing there in that sequence for Maharlika. Tuason trying to get to the ball first. Barbaso takes a long shot there. Doesn't trouble Watara. Well, a late substitution here. And looks like, well, we were looking for Kenry Balobo, and he's checking in as an outfielder.
You know, it took a while for us to really just check.
I was looking at
we
my...
kept quiet for quite some time. We're like, wait, it says here goalkeeper. And Kenry Balobo, who really played an important role as a goalkeeper in that game against Kaya, is getting in a couple of minutes in this matchup as a field player.
You know, if he ends up using his hands, I really don't blame him. Pangasinan going on the run there, but Bindeken Fong there to collect as they'll try to launch it forward here for a final attack from Maharlika as time is running out on them. But really that hit by Flores, that goal, already put this game to bed, realistically speaking. Coscoluela could not get the ball as Indepe. What a neat touch there. MJ Libre trying to get the better of him, eventually does. Still MJ Libre, and MJ Libre is just thrown away.
We love the guts of this kid, you know, just taking on the challenge up on top against Indepe. Literally a player twice his side, and does enough to win them a set piece in a favorable position towards the end of this match.
Beaton trying to make this look a bit more respectable for Maharlika. High ball in. Watara couldn't get his hands to it, and it will be a goal kick. Disappointing here for Maharlika, but
all
really,
hats off really to Mendiola, and especially to their captain, Ashley Flores, a player who really deserved to score that second goal after those countless attacks. Again, he was in charge of that crucial pass, technically the real assist in that the first goal, as he made that pass to Altiche.
Kenry Balobo with a forward move there, just trying his best to maybe get on the score sheet here. Poor ball forward again as Mendiola will run the timeout here unless there is another goal on the cards, as Kenry Balobo, who was onside, can he provide a pass? Couldn't even get to the ball really.
Able to keep it in play across inside.
Flores unable to get to that one. That really, a 3-0 scoreline though would have really flattered Mendiola. And there you have it, Mendiola with their first victory of the season, 2-0 off Nebreja in the first half. Of course, we have to credit that wonderful effort that should have been a goal there from Altice, and then the finisher from Flores that put the game to bed. All hats off for Maharlika for the effort here, but still work to be done for the new club. It's the end of their season, but for them, it is something to build on. Mendiola have one more to go and a chance to climb up even further.
Mendiola really just showed us what they're capable of doing, finally settling into this PFL 2020, showing us the flavor that they have on attack. Everything really just clicked for this squad, and they really build up on that momentum they had coming off that draw against Kaya, coming into this game, really showing us not only their counter-attack style of football, but what they can do when they keep possession. It was amazing to watch them to cover this matchup, and a game that seemed to be a no-bearing for others is actually a mid-table battle for the two squads.
Altice there with the effort that wasn't counted, but Nebreja there to make sure that it was still 1-0 for Mendiola. Again, a fantastic effort coming from Altice. Fortunately, no goal line technology means that wouldn't count, but still we know that Mendiola did enough to make sure that went in. And take a look at the second one. Again, breaking away off a defensive lapse here for Maharlika, and Flores with a cool finish. Something that he did deserve given the glut of chances that he had. But what a ball coming from Apia. The pass from the outside of the foot. And a tidy finish getting past Bendek and Fon. 2-0 in favor of Mendiola FC 1991 against Maharlika Manila. And up next, we have what should have been the big one, but still a great matchup. United City Football Club against Kaya FC.
And you know, there's still a lot to fight for this next matchup, as ADT clinched 3 points today. Kaya now are fighting for that second spot in the PFL 2020.
A lot of pride on the line for Kaya FC, and for United, well, they want to add that cherry on top of their title. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. My name is Paulo Del Rosario alongside my partner Tachay Alquiros, and we hope to see you again next time.